The Whispering Library. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town called Quillvale, there was a magical library. It wasn't just any library. Its books whispered their stories to anyone who would listen. All you had to do was sit quietly, and the books would fill the air with tales of faraway lands, brave heroes, and mystical creatures. But one day, the whisper stopped. The librarian of Quillvale noticed right away. "Oh no," she whispered to herself. "The story gem, it's gone." Without the gem, the library's books would fall silent forever. As the librarian stood there, wondering what to do, the young traveler named Lyla happened to be passing by. She saw the librarian's worried face and approached her. "I'll help you find the story gem. Do you have any idea who might have taken it?" The librarian thought for a moment and then pointed toward a tall, mysterious tower in the distance. "There's an old legend about a clever raven who collects shiny treasures. I think it may have taken the gem." Lyla nodded and set off toward the tower. She climbed its long, winding staircase until she reached the top. There, perched on a pile of shimmering gems, was the raven. Its black feathers gleamed in the light, and its sharp eyes watched her closely. "Look at all my treasures," the raven cawed. "I've collected them all, and I don't want to share." "The story gem doesn't belong to you," Lyla said. "The stories belong to everyone, and without the gem, the people of Quillvale will lose the magic of their library." The raven thought for a moment, then said, "I'll give the gem back, but only if you can solve my riddle." Lyla smiled, ready for the challenge. "All right, what's the riddle?" The raven leaned in closer. "What has words but never speaks?" Lyla thought for a moment, and then she smiled. "That's easy. It's a book." The raven stared at her, clearly impressed. After a moment, it nodded and picked up the story gem from its treasure pile. "A deal is a deal," the raven said, handing the gem to Lyla. Lyla hurried back to the library with the precious gem in her hands. When she returned, the librarian's eyes lit up with joy. Together they placed the story gem back in its rightful place at the heart of the library. As soon as it was set down, the library filled with the joyful whispers of books once again. Stories of adventure and wonder filled the air, and the magic of the library was restored. "Thank you, Lyla," the librarian said. "You've brought our library back to life." Lyla smiled, happy to know that the stories would continue to be shared with everyone who visited the magical library of Quillvale.